This is John Patrick Hickey. We are talking about success, what it is, what it isn't, what it means to you. And we've talked about the difference between power and influence. Now I want to move on to another part of what I guess you could call the success myth, or a mistake that people have about what it means to be successful. And that's the whole idea of fame, of everybody being aware of you, of being a celebrity. People tend to want to be celebrities of some way. You know, the famous quote from Andy Warhol, who said that everyone should have their 15 minutes of fame. People really desire that. And one way you can see that is the whole desire people have to want to make a post on social media go viral. They want to be the person who makes a post go viral. So a lot of times they do things, to me, seem very stupid and irrelevant. You know, forgive me for being so critical, but that's what they come off as. And that is things like guilting people. You know, they'll show a picture of a handicapped child and say, no one's going to say hi to me or share this video because I'm handicapped. And, you know, as if everybody's going to do it out of a sense of guilt. I'll tell you, at least for myself, and I'm sure many of you watching feel the same way, I never repost things like that. I never repost anything that people do, because I don't like getting a lot of that stuff myself. Why would I send it to everybody else that I know? And besides, I'm not going to let you guilt me into doing something just so you can have your few minutes of fame of being connected to what would be considered a viral post. You know, there are so many different things that people do to try to get that element of fame. Some of them are horrible. Some of them are drastic. Some people do acts of terrorism just so they can be remembered. Some people do ridiculous things as far as they've gone as far as taking their own life, thinking that, well, people will remember me, or people will know that I've done such and such. It's like, but you're not here to enjoy your 15 minutes of fame. And believe me, no one does remember most people. Think back over the last few months, I was going to say year, just go a few months, of some of the negative things that have happened. Who do you remember? We don't always remember the people who do them. We might remember the act at times, but we don't remember the people who are involved, because they're not important. You see, fame is a fickle thing. Fame is something that comes and goes. Fame is something that is, no matter how popular you are, it doesn't mean you're going to stay popular. There are, one of the things that amazes me is that, you know, I know of many great actors and authors and musicians, and I'll share the names of these people with my grandkids. They have absolutely no idea who I'm talking about. And that's the way it is. Think about it. Think of somebody who you think is really, really famous, that from when you were growing up. Find a young person, ask them if they know who they are, and chances are they have no idea who you're talking about, because it doesn't stick. Anybody who tries to go for fame or tries to get that idea that everybody's going to know you is going to lose it, because you just don't remember who people are. You don't remember, you might remember some deeds that people did, but even then, those can be fleeting things. What you want to be able to do is be someone memorable to a person. I can't remember the major political, influential people of when I was growing up. I can remember some presidents, but I can't remember all the vice presidents. I can't remember all of the major people who made political history back then. But I do remember my 5th grade teacher. I remember, because she made a difference in my life, I remember my 6th grade teacher, because he gave me a love of science, he gave me a love of discovery that I didn't have before. I remember other teachers that I've had in my life who inspired me in high school, teachers who taught me the value of history, who taught me the value of reading and literature, who gave me gifts that are beyond any physical or material thing that you could ever want. No one will ever know their names. I know their names. I know who they are. I'm eternally grateful. Believe me, it's been a long time since I was in school. You know, when you consider that, you know, back when I was in the 5th grade and Mrs. Graves was pouring into my life with a love of understanding reading and understanding, just a love for words, because she had this real appreciation for words. I'm now 70 years old. I still remember her, and I'm still grateful for the things that she was able to contribute into my life. I remember going to college and taking a history class because I had to. And I took this one history class from a professor who had a real interesting childhood. He grew up, his mother was an anthropologist, his father was an archaeologist, and he traveled all over the world to different sites and digs that they were doing, and he had a love for history that was beyond book learning. He truly loved history. And when he taught out of that love of history. I took 7 history courses from this professor just because he was teaching them. Because I love history, and I loved how he taught history. I loved what he was able to convey, because it was more than dates and times. It was something that was a passion. Will anybody ever know who he is? No, probably not. I know who he is. That's what fame is all about. Who is it that you're influencing? Who will remember you years and years and years from now? Who will you pour into someone's life that when they're 70 years old will say, oh yes, I remember so-and-so, and what they taught me, and what they did for me, and how they believed in me, and how they encouraged me, and they helped me to be who I am. That's the thing. You see, I've always had one big desire, and I've shared it with you before. I'll share it with you again for those who may not have ever heard me share it. And that is, I know that someone is going to truly change the world. Someone is going to find a cure for cancer. I believe that's true. Someone is going to find how to sustain life on another planet. Someone is going to find how to feed multitudes of hungry people, how to make dirty water clean, how to make easy energy. There are so many discoveries to be made that will better society as a whole. I believe someone's going to do that. I also believe that someone is not me. But I may discover the person who it is. And that is how I face every person who I talk to. Every person who comes to me for encouragement, for counseling, for mentorship, I always look at them as somebody who can change the world. And I will invest in them everything that I have, because I know that they just may be the one to make the biggest difference. Make that your goal as well. Make it something that you want to do as well. We're going to continue on looking at success as we go on to the next video, and how this truly is going to mean something in your life and how you can achieve it for yourself. This is John Patrick Hickey for the Growth Center, and I do want to encourage you to live your purpose and change your world.